Welcome back to Pioneers Baseball. 4-3, Elmira leads Newark in this continuation ball game of the originally scheduled June 5th affair. Bottom of the sixth inning, Michael Palmer to the plate for the Pioneers with Elmira ahead a run as he grounds the next offering foul after taking a called strike one. Count 0-2 with nobody out. The right-handed pitcher on the mound for the Newark Pilots is Ethan Chavez, the right-handed pitcher and junior out of Mitchell College. New London, Connecticut native, fires from the right side of the rubber, and the fastball misses away to the lefty hitting Palmer. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Once again, we want to apologize for the audio technical difficulty as we've just resumed play. A line drive into shallow center field. That's going to dunk down for a base hit. A floater off the end of Palmer's bat, but Mike will take it nonetheless. A leadoff hit to open up the bottom of the sixth inning. So Palmer's aboard with nobody out, and here comes the right fielder, Aiden Grabowski. Grabowski is red hot coming off of yesterday's ball game at Newark. Grabowski in that game reaching base in 4 of 5 plate appearances, coming around to score twice, an RBI, 2 singles. Go back to Thursday night's game against Geneva. 2 doubles and a sac fly also came around to score. He's cooking with the bat. Right-handed hitter out of Avon Lake, Ohio, watches a fastball clip the outer third for a called strike one. So 0-1 the count with nobody out. Home half of the sixth inning. Pioneers lead 4-3 in this continuation game. 3 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for the Pilots. 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. A 1 offering is fouled back from Grabowski. 0-2 the count. Had the fortunate opportunity to speak to Grabowski pregame about some of his latest successes. So humble in the way he goes about his business and commands the shortstop position very well. Always a burst of energy, can field really strongly to his forehand side. You saw a couple really nice plays against Geneva where he was showing his flexibility and range from the shortstop position. Gets the start in right field in this continuation ball game. 0-2 the count with nobody out. Kicking, firing in the dirt. Missing is Chavez, 1-2. Pilots enter today's ball game 7-3-1 through their opening 11 contests. Pioneers are now 8-5 through 13 games, following a bit of a slower 0-3 start and 2-4 in 6 games. Since then, they've won 6 of their last 7 contests, dating back to last Friday. Grabowski fouls off the next 1-2 offering. This is a Pioneers lineup that has really gotten themselves back in the mix of things, exhibiting a .323 batting average, scoring 27 runs across their last 9 ball games. A couple astute offensive performances in which have them in good position now in the Perfect Game Collegiate League Western Division. Ground ball base hit into left field for Grabowski. Aiden continues to remain hot. So in his first resumed at-bat of the ball game, another hit for him. And the Pioneers had the first 2 runners on in the bottom of the 6th with nobody out. It'll be Palmer off of second, Grabowski off of first. And here comes the right-handed hitting Jacob Moniz to the plate. So it'll be a righty-on-righty matchup. Chavez against Moniz. Middle infield at double play depth. Behind the third base bag is Loyal. Deep in the hole at first is Butera. As Moniz squares to bunt, and he lays one down beautifully. Down the third base line. Charging in is Loyal. He's going to have no play. It's an infield hit for Jacob Moniz. 3 consecutive hits for the Pios in the bottom of the 6th. They're set up, bases loaded, and nobody out. So here comes Vincent Favana to the plate. Once again, this continuation ball game between the Pioneers and the Newark Pilots. Elmira ahead 4-3. It's Favana to round out the batting order. First pitch to Vinny, and he chops one on the ground to third. Loyal's going to come to the plate, and it hits the runner in Palmer. Dead ball's blown. Palmer's out. But Palmer was in the baseline. Pioneers dugout's going to complain. As now the umpires are going to call in, and I agree with the Pioneers challenging this. Again, you never want to get too objective or biased, but Palmer well within his right in the baseline, steaming towards the plate. That's why the Pioneers dugout came out. Home plate umpire had to say, hey, you guys, that's enough. And they're calling him out. So it's a force out at the plate. Palmer gets forced. Grabowski at third. Moniz is at second. Favada reaches on the fielder's choice. One out in the home half of the sixth. And it's back to the top of the batting order for Elmira and Ben Rohde, the center fielder. Righty and righty matchup. Middle infield now moves into their regular double play depth. First pitch, and Rohde, a ground ball to the shortstop. Hector feeds Brock second, or rather the throw to first just in time to retire the hustling Rohde. And now Brian Joe's going to have a complaint with the field umpire. But a run comes in to score. Rather, only one out was recorded, excuse me. Hector made the throw to first in Butera. 4-3 RBI for Rohde on the ground out. One out. Or rather, two outs in the bottom of the sixth. It'll be Gramesti to step to the plate. Moniz is off of third. And Favada is off of second. Pios now lead 5-3. As it'll be the right-handed hitting TJ Gramesti to step to the plate. First offering on the way, and a high fly ball deep to left field. Going back is Poletto, just in front of the warning track, settles under it and puts it away for the final out of the inning. For Elmira, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. Let's go to the 7th. Elmira ahead 5-3 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Dunfield as we get you set for the top of the 7th inning of action with the Elmira Pioneers in front 5-3 on the Newark Pilots. I'm Farrell Hudson. 1 run in each of the last 2 innings for both Newark and Elmira. The game resumed in the top of the 5th with the Pioneers ahead of the Pilots 3-1. Elmira emerging victorious over Newark in yesterday afternoon's ball game from Colburn Park 13-9. Pioneers will play a 7-inning game against the Pilots shortly to follow after this one, a 6:30 p.m. first pitch in which the Southside High School class of 1972 will be honored here at Dunfield. A nice warm Saturday evening, and we're glad you could join us here on the Pioneers Baseball Network and all those as well who could make it out to the ballpark tonight. 3 runs on 6 hits and 1 error for Newark, 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. As we enter the visitors' half of the 7th inning, it'll be the 8, 9, and 10 rounding out the Newark order to step to the dish. Against the right-hander Nolan Terwilliger, it's Jacob Poletto, the left fielder, followed by Anthony Hector, the shortstop, and Evan Brock, the second baseman. Here's the lefty swinging Poletto in the ball game. Has reached base once, a walk, and was stranded there. In the top of the 5th, Terwilliger delivers a fastball inside, 1-0 the count. Nolan working from the right side of the rubber. He's had an incredibly formidable start to the 2025 season. Leads the Pioneers in all relief pitchers with 4 innings plus in ERA. A dead 0 ERA as Palmer's going to quickly get to the bag. He thought he had more time. He didn't. Just records the out on Paletto, who came crashing into Palmer. Jacob Paleto's going to check on Mike now, who gingerly walks up the grass and foul territory from the first base line. So 1 out, a painful out if you would, in the top of the 7th inning. Play goes 3 unassisted. And 8 more defensive outs to be recorded in the ballgame with Elmira ahead 2 runs. So here comes the shortstop, Anthony Hector, to dig in from the left side. Terwilliger checking on his first baseman, Palmer, gets a thumbs up. Terwilliger, one of 10 local summer players for the Pioneers, coming out of Corning, New York. Spent the season at SUNY Niagara. And he kicks and fires for a called strike 1. Terwilliger, a recent graduate of Corning Painted Post High School. 3 saves and 4 appearances for Terwilliger at SUNY Niagara this year. Chopped up the first baseline foul. Terwilliger quickly ahead, 0-2 in the count to the lefty hitting shortstop Anthony Hector. Nothing into the count with 1 out. Nolan comes set, fires from the right side of the rubber, and the breaking ball fouled back by Hector to stay alive, 1-2. Most humid day of the year so far that the Pioneers have experienced here in the southern tier region. Only fitting that it comes on summer solstice day in 2025. Breaking ball misses down and in. Hector takes a ball and 2 strikes. A collective total of 12 innings of baseball today between Newark and Elmira. 1-2 from Terwilliger. Fastball misses inside at the knees of Hector, who had to lightly dip his body out of the way. Steps out of the box and readjusts his gloves. He'll come back into a weighted 2-2 pitch. Hector on the season, the shortstop batting .273 across 10 ball games. On knack for a fantastic on-base percentage, .455 on the season. We can see why, as he works the count here, doesn't bite on 2 straight fastballs. Ironically enough, Nolan going backwards sequencing, starting off very slider heavy, and then following with a steady diet of fastballs with 2 strikes. We'll look to see if he goes back to the breaking ball here. Full count with the bases empty and 1 out. The pitch grounded foul. A great at-bat being worked by Hector. Hector trailing some of his other teammate counterparts in Evan Brock and Noah Brooks in on-base percentage. Casey Wensley, who's more comparable to the left-handed hitting Hector. Wensley's appeared in 9 ball games, a .355 batting average and a .475 on-base percentage. This one lined into right center field. It's going to drop in front of Grabowski and the cutting center fielder Brody for a base hit. Ben will fire it back in. A 1-out single off the bat of Hector. So the 3rd consecutive inning with a hit since the resumption of the ball game. 7th hit of the game for Newark in 6 1/3 innings across 3 Pioneers pitchers. Michael Geisler originally getting the start across 4 innings in this ball game for the Pios. Back on June 5th, an earned run on 2 hits, 3 walks and 6 strikeouts, 75 pitches. Zach Nelson came in to relieve him. And now Nolan Terwilliger, 4 1/3 innings pitched on the season. A third of the way through the top of the 7th, delivers a breaking ball hit high on the outside corner. Right-handed hitting Evan Brock takes for a called strike 1. Brock grounded to John Simmons on a high hop at 3rd to conclude the top half of the 5th. 0-1 from Terwilliger. This one grounded lightly to the first base side of 2nd. Jacob Moniz only plays at 1st, fires to Palmer in time for out number 2. Advancing into scoring position is Hector. So the play goes 4-3, and that rolls it back to the top of the batting order, and the tying run coming to the plate in Cooper Loyal. Loyal, 45 hits across 53 ball games for the University of Albany Great Danes this season. He bats with 2 outs, visitors half of the 7th inning. I guess in a 5-inning ball game like this, you're halfway through after this inning alone. Pioneers hope that means maybe a little more than a halfway through, as they wouldn't need to play the bottom of the 9th inning with a victory. 0-1 the count with 2 outs as Terwilliger fires a slider. Fouled back on a loosely dribbled chopper by Loyal. 0-1 the count. Very lefty-heavy matchup exhibited by this Newark Pilot squad. At least the lineup in Game 1. Both teams switching up their lineups a bit for Game 2. We'll get more information on that later. Once again, intended start time of Game 2. 6:30 p.m. We'll have all your pregame coverage kicking off at 6:15 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Nothing into the count as Loyal fouls off the heater. A bit late on that one from Terwilliger as no one looks to complete another inning of no-run ball and keep his ERA at 0 after 5 innings of relief work across 3 appearances on the season. 0-2, breaking ball in the dirt. Loyal wisely doesn't bite. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two from Terwilliger outside, and it skips away from the catcher Grimesti. Uncharacteristic of TJ to let that get to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count with 2 outs, and advancing up to being 90 feet away from scoring is now Hector. Brady King scored on the 6-4-3 double play off the bat of Hector with the bases loaded and 1 out in the top of the 5th. 2-2 the count with 2 outs. Pios preserving a 2-run lead. Visitors half of the 7th. Terwilliger comes set and fires a swing and a miss with a good fastball over the outer half to retire Loyal to end the inning. So for the Pilots, no runs on a hit, no errors. They strand a runner on base. Get up and stretch. Pios ahead 5-3 here on the Elmira Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to Elmira. The Pioneers lead 5-3 as we enter the home half of the 7th inning. It'll be the 3, 4, and 5 in the Elmira order due up to the plate against the righty Ethan Chavez going into his 3rd full inning of relief work. O'Neill, the shortstop, followed by Simmons, the 3rd baseman, and Starr, the left fielder. It begins with Liam O'Neill, righty-on-righty matchup. Coming set is Chavez, left side of the rubber, fires, and the changeup swung on and missed for strike 1. For O'Neill on the season, batting .125 across 6 ball games and 16 plate appearances, 2 hits, 3 runs, and 2 RBIs. O'Neill still looking to get himself rolling in the box of 587 OPS. Liam getting the start at the shortstop position today. Awaits a 0-2 with nobody out, and the pitch just above the top of the zone. O'Neill taking above the letters, 1 ball and 2 strikes. O'Neill has struck out 9 times on the season for the Pioneers. That leads Elmira in that category. Fouls back the next offering. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Liam grounded to first on a beautiful diving stop as he fouls off the next offering. Down the left field line. Stays alive, 1-2 the count. Christian Butera, an excellent four-handed stab, dove on top of the first base bag to retire O'Neill in the fifth. Grimesti, Grimesti advanced to second. He eventually came around to score, fouled off of O'Neill. Williams staying alive. This will be the sixth pitch he'll see in the at-bat. As with 2 strikes, he battles with the ball and 2 straight foul balls. Pios ahead 5-3 in this continuation ball game over the Newark Pilots from 16 days ago. Already the 10th home ball game of the season at Dunn Field. Home cooking has been sweet for the Pioneers. A 6-3 record, 8-5 overall. This one driven to deep center field, going back on his horse's goodness, way back to the warning track, and he puts it away for the first out. So O'Neill gave it a nice ride, but it's hauled in by Paulie Goodness, out number 1. So here comes John Simmons. Lefty hitting third baseman to the dish with 1 out and the base is empty. Righty Chavez through 2 1/3 of 2-run baseball. For the Pioneers, they've gotten 5 hits in 2 1/3 innings of work against the aforementioned Chavez. First offering, fastball letter high on the outside corner. Simmons takes for a called strike 1. 3 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for the Pilots. 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error for the Pioneers. 0-1 the count. Fastball is in there for a called strike. Not sure if John anticipated 2 straight heaters to start the at-bat. Nice mix of off-speed executed by Chavez. Went with the heater on the 1-2 offering to O'Neill, in which Liam punctured to deep center about 350 feet. A lot of hang time on it, though, and with elite speed out there, Paulie Goodness, center fielder from Lemoyne College, tracked it down, put it away for out number 1. Goodness doing it with the glove and the bat. .283 batting average across 40 games at Lemoyne this season. 1-2 the count with the bases empty to John Simmons. Kicking and firing as Chavez off the outside corner. Misses low at the knees of John. 2-2 the count. Pios scored a run in each of the first 3 innings of this ball game, and then a run in the 5th, a run in the 6th. Infield Rains back for the lefty power hitter Simmons. 2-2 the count. Fastball just off the plate. John doing an excellent job. He's worked back from an 0-2 count to force 3 balls and 2 strikes. O'Neill did a nice job battling the at-bat before that. Pioneers really starting to put an emphasis on working counts. It's something second baseman Jacob Moniz alluded to in his pregame conversation with me earlier. This one on the ground, 3 hops to the shortstop Hector. Takes him to the first base side a second. The throw across the diamond with his momentum carrying there is in time for out number 2. So O'Neill flies out and Simmons grounds out. 2 outs and the base is empty in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be the lefty swinging left fielder Shane Starr to come to the plate. Shane out of Moretown, Vermont, an attendee of Franklin Pierce University. Arrived on June 5th. Ironically enough, the first day of this ball game between the Pios and the Pilots. Flies one to deep left, but settling under it is Paletto, about 50 feet to the right of his original position. Puts it away for the final out of the inning. For the Pios, no runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. Let's take it to the 8th. Elmira ahead by 2 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. 5-3, Elmira leads as we head to the top of the 8th inning. In the bottom of the 7th for the Pios, they go down in order, but don't let that fool you. A lot of hard contact. Liam O'Neill, fly ball to deep center. John Simmons sharply on the ground to the shortstop Hector, and then a fly ball to deep left off the bat of Shane Starr, retrieved out there by Paletto. As we head to the 8th, it's the righty hitting center fielder Paulie Goodness drives one deep to right center field. Cutting over in the gap is the center fielder Rhodey. He puts it away. One pitch, one out in the top of the 8th. So it'll bring up the righty swinging first baseman Christian Butera with the bases empty and one out. Butera appearing in 36 games at Brown University on the season. Started in 33. Primarily getting time at third base, but mans the other corner of the infield now, primarily as a Newark Pilot. Fastball on the outside corner. Butera takes for a called strike. Butera, native of East Greenwich, Rhode Island. Earned Ivy League Rookie of the Week honors this season. He posted a .455 batting average, a 1636 OPS, in a 3-game series at Columbia in which he knocked 4 homers on 5 RBIs, 5 runs scored. Homered in each game, and all 5 hits in the series, going for extra bases. 1-1 the count from Terwilliger to the right-hander in Butera. The fastball just misses off the plate. Terwilliger asking if it was outside. Umpire confirms yes. 2-1 the count. Pioneers out-hitting the Pilots by 2. 7 1/3 into the ballgame, outscoring the Pilots by 2 as well. Nubbed off the end of the bat, a jam shot, shallow center field. That's going to dunk a couple feet in front of Benjamin Rhodey for a base hit. So with 1 out, Butera's aboard. 4th consecutive hit in the resumption of the ball game for the Newark Pilots. It comes off the bat of Butera. Now it's the righty swinging catcher Noah Brooks to come to the plate. The junior out of Siena College, who appeared in 28 ball games this season, 28 hits and 28 RBIs. 701 OPS for the Palmyra New York native. Third consecutive righty-on-righty matchup to open up the 8th inning. Snap throw back to first base. Sliding in ahead of the tag is Butera. 3 runs on 8 hits for Newark and 1 error. For the Pios, 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. And now getting clipped is Brooks. So he'll go down to first base just like that. 2 runners on in the top of the 8th for the Pilots. Butera will be on second. The tying run of Noah Brooks will be on first. And it'll be the right-handed hitting designated hitter Grant Ingram to come to the plate. Ingram in the ball game walked in the top of the 6th inning. In yesterday's game went 0 for 2, but reached base in 2 of 4 plate appearances on 2 walks. If you were to walk Ingram here, you'd have the bases loaded for Brady King. He's reached base once in the ball game on an error made by Jacob Moniz in the top of the 5th. Terwilliger rocks and fires, and the fastball catches the outside corner for a called strike. Outfield's playing relatively deep for Ingram, who's got a lot of potential for pop, so a base hit scores a run, especially with the slower grass here at Dunfield. Pios, 5 more defensive outs in the ball game remain. 0-1. Slider in the dirt, blocked by Gramesti. A nice stop by the Pioneers catcher to keep both runners at their respective base. 1-1 the count with 1 out. Terwilliger sets, fires, fastball off the plate, 2-1. the first time you've seen Nolan truly get behind and counts. A back throw to back pick to first, and just getting back safely was Noah Brooks. Gramesti trying to catch Brooks sleeping, fired back to first. Michael Palmer alertly aware, crashing in at the bag from his position deep at first base, about 20 feet behind the bag. Three and one the count with one out. The ante's been upped. Tying run could be in scoring position if Terwilliger walks Grant Ingram, who fouls back the next offering. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count with one out. Pioneers preserving what is now a slim 2-run advantage. Visitors half of the 8th inning. Terwilliger comes set and fires the payoff pitch. A fly ball foul behind the screen. Ingram stays alive. It'll be another payoff pitch on the way. Terwilliger is going to take a look at Butera. It's Butera off a second, Brooks off a first. One out in the top of the 8th. Pios ahead by 2 runs. Nolan comes set and delivers the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Ingram is retired on a beautiful loopy slider over the outer half of the dish for out number 2. So here comes Brady King, the extra hitter. Struck out his last time up against Zach Nelson. 2 outs in the top of the 8th. Tying runs off of first. A base hit in the gap could potentially tie it for Newark. A single scores a run to close it to a 1-run ball game. And the Pios are hoping they can get out of the inning. Still with a 2-run lead, as they'll have 3 defensive outs remaining after that. Fastball over the outside corner, taken for a called strike 1 by the righty hitting King. 0-1. Blocked in the dirt. Now it gets away from Gramesti, so the tying run's going to move into scoring position as Butera is up to third. Brooks is up to second. A 1-1 count with 2 outs. You're dealing with Brady King out of Barry University, teammates with Brendan Hayes, Ben Rohde, and Bobby Boeing for the Pioneers. You'll see Boeing make the start tomorrow against the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, the likely probable starter for Game 1. Brendan Hayes, you'll likely see him back on the mound about midweek. Would imagine the Wednesday game at Auburn, or the Thursday game at Newark. A lot of road games, understandably, in store for the Pioneers. They've played 10 home games. Now, at the conclusion of this game, Pioneers looking to extend their record to 9-5 through 14 games, which would make them 7-1 in their last 8. And a really solid record of what would be 2 consecutive home victories at Dunfield. This one out of the reach of both Simmons and the diving shortstop O'Neill into left field for a base hit. A run comes in to score. Stopping at third is Brooks. Butera in on the RBI single off the bat of Brady King, and now it's a 1-run ball game. 1 run on 2 hits in the inning. Newark makes it 5-4 Pioneers. And it'll be Casey Wensley, the right fielder, to step to the dish. Righty on lefty matchup with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Kicking and firing is Terwilliger, and the fastball misses high and away for ball 1. Wensley, the junior out of Raynham, Massachusetts, an attendee of Wheaton College, takes a fastball off the outside corner. 2-0 the count. Terwilliger fires. Fastball catches the outside corner at the knees. A called strike 1 to Wensley, who is a 2-year letter winner at Bridgewater Raynham High School, a Boston Globe and Boston Herald all-scholastic team player. a litany of high school honors for his success at Bridgewater Raynham High School. 2-1 pitch with 2 outs and a high pop-up. In foul grounds, it's John Simmons who settles under it and puts it away for the final out of the inning. Pios maintain their lead. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We head to the home half of the 8th with Elmira ahead by 1 here on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back to the bottom of the 8th inning as the Pioneers lead 5-4 at Dunn Field over the Newark Pilots. It'll be Brandon Dubeck to come to the plate. Dubeck followed by Michael Palmer and Aiden Grabowski. New pitcher on in the ball game. It's Brady King out of Barry University, former attendee of Suncoast Community College. And he fires a strike to Dubeck, 0-1. Batted .376 at Suncoast. 3 homers, 66 RBIs, 17 extra base hits, .475 slugging. Going as a two-way on the mound, 10-5 with a 3.02 ERA. Across 111 innings, and he compiled 146 strikeouts, a true workhorse who can command the zone, as he's got Dubeck in an 0-2 hole to open up the home half of the 8th. Pios and Pilots evened up at 9 hits apiece. Pop up first base side, cutting over his Butera and foul ground. He'll put it away for the first out to retire Dubeck. So with 1 out, home half of the 8th, it'll be Michael Palmer, the first baseman. Lefty hitting Elmira, New York native, to step to the dish. First offering from King to Palmer is fouled off third base side, 0-1. The 0-1 with one out. Fastball off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Here in the bottom of the 8th, bases are empty. Pioneers ahead by a run. One, breaking ball high and inside. 2-1 the count to Palmer. For Ethan Chavez, his final line in the ball game. 4 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Pioneers doing a good job, staying away from the K. 1-1 inside corner, rather 2-1, called strike 2 to Palmer. Mike in the ball game singled to lead off the bottom of the 6th. Came around to score the lone Pioneers run of the inning. And that's where we stand now, 5-4, bottom of the 8th. Righty on lefty matchup as King fires the 1-2. Fastball missing just off the plate, 2-2 the count. Two with 1 out, a swing and a miss. Beautiful, slow breaking ball over the inner third. Palmer cuts through for out number 2. So here comes Aiden Grabowski. Aiden continuing to remain hot, building upon his .310 batting average entering this afternoon's ball game. He digs in from the right side, a single in the bottom of the 6th. Pioneers up by a run with 3 defensive outs to record left in the ball game. Their bullpen remains empty, thus signaling Nolan Terwilliger coming back for yet another inning of work. First offering to Grabowski is a breaking ball off the plate. Aiden takes for ball 1. One 0 with 2 outs. Grabowski fouls off the fastball, 1-1. Looks like something's going on with the catcher, Brooks. He's gingerly shaken up. And Marcus Smith out to have a conversation with the home plate umpire. Now the Pioneers trainer coming out of the dugout. Not sure what this is about. So Noah Brooks shaken up. A 1-1 count with 2 outs and the bases empty. Home half of the 8th inning. Pioneers ahead 5-4. Brooks is going to stay in the ball game. Grabowski will dig back in. Brooks taking a moment to get his footing. It'll be a 1-1 with 2 outs. Grabowski flashes to bunt, takes the breaking ball outside, 2-1. Grabowski, a swing and a miss. Well-executed slider from Brady King over the inner third. 5 straight Pioneers have been retired by 2 different relievers, the first being Ethan Chavez, the second Brady King, who looks to complete an immaculate bottom of the 8th inning. 2-2. Hit on the ground to second. On one bounce, it's Brock, the throw to first, in time to retire Grabowski for out number 3. No runs and no hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. We'll take it to the ninth with Elmira ahead 1 on the Pioneers Baseball Network. Welcome back for the top of the ninth inning. Pioneers lead 5-4, looking to close out the ball game. It'll be Jacob Paletto to step to the dish, the first contestant for the Newark Pilots. Paletto followed by Hector and Brock, rounding out the batting order for Newark in this continuation ball game. As Terwilliger fires a breaking ball inside, 2-0 the count. Nolan comes set and delivers. Breaking ball fouled off. Up against the stanchion. 2-1 the count. Pios have 5 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. For Newark, 4 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. 2-1 count with nobody out and the base is empty. Top of the ninth inning. Terwilliger comes set, middle of the rubber, rocks and fires. Hard ground ball on a bounce to the shortstop O'Neill to his forehand side. Ranges the throw across the diamond in time to Palmer, 1 out. So the play goes 6-3, 1 out with the bases empty in the top of the ninth inning. And that'll bring up Anthony Hector to the dish. Lefty swinging shortstop. First pitch from Terwilliger is a fastball outside corner, taking for a called strike 1. That'll be Hector, followed by Ethan Brock. 0-1 from Nolan. He spins a changeup outside, 1-1. One with 1 out. Breaking ball catches the bottom of the zone for a called strike 2. Beautifully spotted at the knees. Hector 1 for 2 in the ball game, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the top of the 5th, a single in the top of the 7th. 1-2 with one out. Breaking ball just off the outside corner. The 2-2 with one out. Terwilliger comes set, fires a fastball off the plate. 3-2 the count to Hector, who shakes his head no in confidence as he departs the lefty batter's box to readjust his gloves and take a swing. He'll step back in to await the full count offering. As Terwilliger comes set. One out, top of the ninth. Nolan kicks and fires, swing and a miss for strike three, and now a bit of a head nod back, and Nolan says something to Hector as he departs. Pioneers have Newark down to their final out. So it'll be Evan Brock to step to the dish with 2 outs and the bases empty. Righty on righty matchup. Pioneers looking to lock down another victory at Dunfield. First offering to Brock is a breaking ball low and away. Evan takes 1 ball and no strikes. We mentioned Brock 2 hits in the ball game yesterday, 0 for 2 so far today. A grounder down to third and a grounder to second. The 1-0 with 2 outs. Nolan fires a breaking ball. This one catches the outside corner, letter high for a called strike one. Breaking ball is low. We mentioned Nolan's steady diet of breaking balls to begin at-bats. That's 3 straight to begin against Brock, rounding out the batting order today for the Pilots. 2-1 with 2 outs, a swing and a miss. Inside corner breaking ball. That's 4 straight, 2-2 the count to Evan Brock. Pilots are down to their final strike. Elmira looking to lock down victory. Nolan comes set, kicks and fires the 2-2, fouled off. Nolan going with the heater there, top of the zone. Brock stays alive. Two with 2 out. And a grounder deep in the hole at shortstop. O'Neill to the backhand side on 3 hops, a high throw, and the tag is unable to be applied by Palmer. Another error from O'Neill. As Brock reaches, and it'll be back to the top of the batting order in Cooper Loyal. Righty on righty matchup, it's Loyal with 2 outs. Snap throw back to first to check on Brock. Brock about an 8 to 10 foot lead off the first base bag. With 2 outs, he represents the tying run. Loyal at the plate, the go-ahead run. Terwilliger fires a swing and a miss from Loyal, 0-1. A 1 breaking ball just misses inside, 1-1. It'll be a 1-1 with 2 outs. Breaking ball outside for ball 2. Two 1 with 2 outs. Loyal, his third at-bat of the game, 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Chopped foul to Palmer's backhand side in the first base coaching box. 2-2 the count. The Pioneers are once again a strike away from victory on this early Saturday evening from Dunfield. Loyal takes a swing outside the box, now steps back in. Two with 2 outs. Terwilliger fires and a breaking ball misses off the plate. It's a full count. since Terwilliger took over for Zach Nelson in the top of the 7th. He's allowed a run on 3 hits. Payoff pitch with 2 outs. Fastball at the knees, called strike 3. Loyal frustrated and the ball game is over as the Pioneers take it 5-4 here over the Newark Pilots in Game 1 of the doubleheader. So the Pios advance to 9-5 on the season with a 5-4 victory over the Pilots. Final line in the ball game for the Newark Pilots: 4 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. For the Pioneers, 5 runs on 9 hits and 2 errors. Elmira advancing now to 7-3 at Dunfield. Don't go anywhere. We got still plenty of baseball left today as the Pios get set to take on the Newark Pilots for a 6:30 p.m. first pitch, a 7-inning ball game to follow after this.